Hey everybody, this is Ozark Pepper One. I'm hanging around my house. It's dark outside now. I was going to make a video today and maybe go for a walk or something, but I did a lot of work today. And work can dumb you down if you do it enough. But I was working for me. I took a couple weeks off from where I work to get caught up on some things and use up some days. If you're a young person and you want to be wealthy when you're older, I can break it down for you simple. There's a few ways to do it. I'll tell you an easy way, and it's guaranteed. While you're in your 20s, instead of going out partying or instead of trying to buy something flashy or following the typical family model we have nowadays, which is get married and then get divorced and lose half your stuff. You don't want to do that either. So what you want to do is, once you're out of high school, find something that's in demand, that's not going to be easily taken over by technology. Get in that job, do a good job. Don't give them too much of yourself. Give them enough to keep them wanting you, but not overworking you. Take your income. If you can stay with your mom and dad as long as you can, do it and build up your money. And invest your money only in things that are going to gain value. Find things that are going to double every 10 years in value, and your money will be stored. There's precious metals. There's antique cars, antique musical instruments, desirable musical instruments. There are antiques from dating back to the Roman times, the biblical times. If you get your hands on those, they're always going to go up in value. Items from the Civil War, the Revolutionary War, World War I and II, those things are always going to go up in value because they're not making them anymore and they are from a certain era of time. You take those things and you store them in a safe place. And if you sit on them, work your job, pay your bills, don't be too flashy, you will be the king by your 40s, which is not that long. From the time you're 20 to 40, it flies by. And I'm telling you this from the age of 50. When it comes to buying transportation, buy what's reliable. Don't worry about what attracts people. You want something efficient and reliable, meaning when you drive that thing off a lot, you could probably drive it for 5 years without having to do anything to it. That's what you want. And they still make those. You can still buy used cars that'll do that. And I'll give you some life hacks for inside your home if you want to save some money. Let's say you have an electric water heater in your home. If you have one that has a problem like your bottom water element burns out, don't replace it. Just replace the upper element with a heavy duty element, the bigger ones that snake in there, that will cut your electric bill down a lot. Some other things you can do is, if you spend more time in one room than you do any other room in the house, only focus on climate control in that room. The other rooms don't matter. You're only going to briefly walk through them. Just keep them above freezing. Yeah, I got up early. And don't put your trust in several people. You can hardly trust anyone these days. Almost everyone has one or two friends that are the ride or die type. They'll be with you no matter what. You can fall and be in the biggest gutter, and they'll still call you up just to say hi. And it has nothing to do with your wealth or how cool you are or anything like that. It's because something about you sparks their interest. They like you because of who you are. And who you are is what you have to offer. You might be the ear they need when they have a problem. You might be that person that rescues them when they need help. But sometimes they need just somebody to vent their problems to. And that's your real friends. When they're not begging from you constantly or things like that. They're a real friend, you know. And I think we all have one or two of those. And I've seen some people burn bridges with their friends. I know one guy in particular that he burned bridges with every one of his friends. He was such an unloyal human being that he moved in on their wives or girlfriends. And that's just a dirty, lowest thing you can do. But this guy tried that with all of his friends. And he ended up losing all of his friends because of it. And I think we all know someone like that. But don't be that guy. Because when it comes to making deals with people or being invited into a higher level of life, you might bump into someone that's multimillionaire and they happen to like you because of who you are. They start inviting you. Well, if they know for sure that you're not the type of person to mess with their spouse or have eyes for their spouse or their family members or anything like that, they're going to have a greater deal of trust for you. And more doors will open for you because of that. There's billions of people in this world. You don't have to screw over your friends or your family or anything like that. There's no reason for that. There's billions of people to choose from. But people are conditioned by television and the atmosphere we grew up in to be impulse driven, to where they want things now and they see opportunity now and they try to jump on it. And when they do, they make a big mistake because they didn't do any research before they jumped on it. And it comes back to haunt them later. Well, I know a guy that I grew up with he had a habit of wanting to fight everybody. And he sucker punched a lot of people. And he sucker punched a lot of people in high positions. As they got older, they became powerful people locally. So what he did was basically blackball himself in the county that we grew up in. So all the doors to opportunity for him are closed for the rest of his life in this county, or that county, whichever. And he will never be able to climb up and be anybody in that county. He will have to move to another county or do work in another county for a big company. Just go get a job at a big company and work, and that guy will prosper then. But if he doesn't do that, if he tries to start up a business in the county he is from, it's going to fail, because the powers that be in that county will make it fail. I'm telling you truth bombs here. And that's how it works in every county. It's how it works in every city, state. You know, you cross the line with the wrong people, and they're in clubs. There's a lot of clubs. All it takes is one person in one of those clubs that you did dirty to be unforgiving, and you will not go very far. Now, those clubs are also, sorry about that, those clubs are also built on moral character and forgiveness. Some are. I don't know which ones do what. But some will see a person who may have been wild when they were young trying to become somebody good as they're older. And they understand that because they're all human too. But if you've been nothing but a monster your whole young life, you need to move and not be that person again. But that's one of the biggest truth bombs I can give you on a local level, because that's how the game works. You know, every town has its twos of everything. Look around and you'll see it. And I'm not talking the twos of the big corporations. I'm talking about the twos of the little guy. You'll have 2 lumber yards. You'll have 2 florists. You'll have 2 video installers, 2 plumbers. And they're all on the same team. And they all forward competition, or not competition, but customers back and forth to each other when the other one gets overwhelmed, and they do it through advertisement. These are truth bombs, because what I'm telling you right now also happens on the major level, not just the local level. I can give you examples. On the major level, you have FedEx, you have UPS. You have Ryder, you have U-Haul. What do you have in the trucking industry? You have Swift, Schneider. You have a lot of them in the trucking industry. But you always have 2 major ones of everything. And it goes that way all the way to the very top. Because at the very top, what do you have? You have Vanguard and you have BlackRock. It goes from the top to the bottom in series of 2s. Nobody thinks about it. Nobody does the math, which is just 1, 2. You always have 2 companies pretending to be competitors when they're actually all owned by each other. The higher up you go. And on the local level, they go to the same barbecues. They go to the same events. They sponsor the same events in the small towns and the cities. And those of you who are looking for jobs, you need to understand that in industry, one of the 2 will be a very crappy one to work for, and the other one will be way better. So you need to figure out which one or which. One company will pay a lot more than the other one and have way less stress. It's all by design. The crappier company will work its employees in the ground, but it will also be propped up by the better company because the shareholder is the same person. And when they prop that other company up, they do it so that company will take all the hits, because the employee that's more stressed out is going to have more accidents and more problems, more health issues, and more lawsuits against that company. And the better company will be footing the bill for a lot of that through back doors, through the shareholders. And sometimes they'll be self-insured, and then they'll just create another company and gobble up that company and dissolve its name to get rid of all of its liability. So you don't want to work for that one. You want to work for the other one that has no problems, is smooth, and the employees look cleaner and healthier. That's the one you want to work for. And those are out there all the way up, bottom up, top down. It's all the same. But anyway, I've went almost 20 minutes on this one. And it's just random thoughts. I was going to do this in the middle of the day today and go on a walk, but it's kind of windy, and I was busy. But I hope this helps some people. And, write some of this stuff down if you want. I've got more. Got a whole bunch more. I'm not trying to expose anybody or anything like that. I'm just giving you pointers if you want to sell through life a little bit easier. I wish I knew back then what I know now. Anyway, y'all have a great one more day of the week. Ozark Pepper 1 out.